You know, when I was starting out, my average deal size was like 6,000. Okay, the 6,000, like 2012, 2013, 2014. It wasn't that much, all right? It was like 6,000 to 10,000, and it took a while, right? And then it bumped up to 18,000, and then it went to 22, 28, 32, and now over $40,000. And part of that is because we are selling to hedge funds. The 2020 census. I've been talking about this for a while. Here it is. This is pulled straight off of the information highway, aka the internet. Public data here. Look at this. Now listen, guys. 6 to 10% of the real estate market is in distress at all times. Whether that distress be the physical condition of the property, whether the properties be vacant, whether there be some financial distress by the property owner, right? Whether they can't make their mortgage payments or they've got some liens on the properties that are really just like putting a lot of pressure on that property owner, whether they aren't paying their property taxes. There's so many deals, guys, right here in black and white, right here. This is in the thousands. Let me make this very clear. Add 3 zeros to all of these numbers, not the percentages, obviously, but of the actual numbers here. There's 141 million properties, housing units, 141 million, not 141,000, as you see up here in that top corner there. 141 million properties. Go down 1, 2, 3, 4 lines where it says vacant properties. 15 million. Okay, that is not 15,000. Add 3 zeros to this, 15 million, and look at the one one down from there. 11,789,000 properties vacant for over a year. It's right there. This is the 2020 census. You can do all of your research, but the fact is this. The reason I bring this up is because there are so many opportunities. There's so many opportunities. 141 million properties. If it's 6 or 10%, that is like 100. That's 14 million. That's up to 14 million opportunities every single year that we have. Do not fall victim to the mentality that it is oversaturated. Do not fall victim that the deal of a lifetime does not come around once a week, because it absolutely does. All right? There should be so much energy and enthusiasm and optimism about the efforts that you put into your real estate business and growing as a real estate entrepreneur. There are more opportunities than there are us. Go out there. You got this. And that is going to put us right into talking about hedge funds. Hedge funds, hedge funds, hedge funds. Let me explain something to you. You know, when I was starting out, my average deal size was like 6,000. Okay, the 6,000, like 2012, 2013, 2014. It wasn't that much, all right? It was like 6,000 to 10,000, and it took a while, right? And then it bumped up to 18,000, and then it went to 22, 28, 32, and now over $40,000. And part of that is because we are selling to hedge funds. Hedge funds are, now you could Google this, you could look at it. Just to put this simply, imagine a bunch of wealthy people pool their money together and they put a company in charge, a hedge fund in charge of growing that and protecting that money. Imagine that you have $10 million and you want to live your life. You want to do the things. You've pushed really hard. You've saved up. You've invested smart, and you've got 10 million bucks, and you want somebody else to manage that. So you put it into a hedge fund where a bunch of other wealthy people put their money into, and then all of a sudden that hedge fund starts putting the money in different areas to protect against inflation, to get appreciation, to build up that fund, to constantly get a nice return. That's what hedge funds do. And recently, as of the downturn, 2008, 2009, 2010, all of a sudden they started making single family houses an asset class. All right. Before, it was like real estate investment trusts that really bought into a bunch of commercial buildings or big time apartment complexes, those type of things, big projects, stadiums, those type of things. Right. But then they go, wait a second, we can go into the single family market because there's a lack of inventory because the economic world crashed. And now there's a surplus of properties out there that we can buy at a discount. Plus, we know at some point the demand is going to go bananas for these things and we're going to get great appreciation. So you see a lot of these hedge funds that manage like pension funds or just really wealthy people's big nest eggs, they start putting it into single family. And because of that, they can pay retail plus on these properties. But I want to make sure that we get rid of all illusions of what they're buying and how they're buying. And I really want to educate you on the nitty gritty. That's why in just a minute, I'm going to bring up Jeremy Thornburg, my disposition manager, who's working with these hedge funds a lot so that you can really get the insider information on what's going on here. But let me first show you how to find these hedge fund buyers through PropStream. All right, we're talking ttpdata.com, ttpdata.com. PropStream, this is the tool that any and all serious real estate investors are using. Either this or Batch Leads. If you're in non-disclosure states, I would highly suggest that you check out BatchLeads.io, and that's with TTP. But if you're in a disclosure state, it makes it really simple here. All right, now I'm going to jump in here. Go ahead, Matt. Let's pop in here. I've already got this. So this is Phoenix. Okay, this is my market here. And I already put the filters in because I don't want to go through this and you're watching me do the check boxes and all this stuff and it's real boring for a live show here. So I'm going to show you all of the criteria that I have in here. All right. First, you're going to go owner occupied and no. So by the way, as I'm going through this, just write it down. Like I put it like this, you know, just on a piece of paper, filters, owner occupied, no. And then the next ones, right? So then you're going to go to property characteristics. And I want you to go to single family here, all right? Because this is what they're buying. I want single family. And then, and you can see, by the way, all of the filters here if you just want to take a quick little snapshot. And then I'm going to go to the ownership info, and I'm going to go owner type corporate. Okay, make sure that you put that corporate in there. Now, I put 450,000 in our market because we know what their cap is. If you're in a California, if you're in a Seattle, if you're in a Chicago, if you're in a Miami, if you're in Austin, if you're in Boulder or Denver, whatever, you can increase that. They have bigger buying power in those or bigger prices that they go after or higher prices. So 450,000 there. And I put number of properties just to really get the people that own a lot of properties to 50 properties. 50. You can go as low as 10 if you're in a smaller market, but I wouldn't go below 10. Would you agree, Jeremy? Yeah? Okay. 10 to 50 there, and this is what we're looking at. And so from there, what you would do is you click this. You add it to your list. I'm not going to do it here because it's boring. You add it to the list, export that list. Once it's in Excel, listen, once it's in Excel, I want you to filter not by the name of the company. I want you to filter by their mailing address. Because these hedge funds buy them in several different LLCs, several different corporations, but they have the same mailing address. So it's really important that you're not like, you know, overlapping your efforts by calling the same people over and over and over. And you can just talk to them once and get a good idea of what they're looking for. All right. And now you just go through it and you look at these properties and you look for, and I'm going to give you a little bit of, let's see Danbury here. This is great. Okay, here's one here. See this? When you see these type of things going on, this kind of crazy name, that's probably a hedge fund. That's probably a hedge fund. Now, what you want to do here is, and this is really important, I wouldn't directly reach out to the hedge fund. Because what they do is the hedge fund kind of builds a force field around themselves. And that force field is their real estate agents that are their buying agents. Now, some of them go direct to you. They don't mind. But the real estate agents is kind of your first leg into that relationship. And so what I like doing here is I take the address, because if you go on PropStream, and you go with the MLS details, it only shows you the listing agent. It doesn't show you the buyer's agent, and that's who you're looking for. You're looking for who is the buyer's agent that is representing the hedge funds. This is what's really going to get you the access to submitting your deals to the hedge funds. And then what I do here is I search Google. And by the way, this is easy in non-disclosure states. In some of the disclosure states, it's tougher. I'm sorry, in some of the non-disclosure states, it's tougher because they don't show you who the agent is. But on these, you can go down to, scroll down on Zillow, and it'll show you listed by and bought by. Look at this. So you can see this is Open Door here. They bought this one. It looks like they flipped it. But you can see this is how you get the buyer's agent info. And what I would do here is just search Google on those buyer's agents, and boom, you get their phone number or their connection or whatever else. This one doesn't have it on Realtor. It's got to be somewhere. I'll find them. This guy's a little bit tougher, but you can find them. You can dig a little bit deeper, probably look in the register. Let me see. There we go. There we go. And then I would probably reach out here to the office and get a hold of them. So there you go.
If you like that video, hit that subscribe button. We come out with new videos every single day. And if you want your questions answered, like you and I, one-on-one, make sure that you join us for the live show every single Wednesday. I will see you there.